Hello everyone, I'm Rob, I'm a registered dietitian, and in this week's video I wanted to acknowledge that it's Sustainable September. Okay, so first up, let's have a look at what are the environmental impacts of switching to a soya-based protein source. There are a number of concerns that reducing meat intake and replacing it with soya could have unintended consequences on the environment. Soybean cultivation has doubled in the last 10 years as suppliers rush to meet demand from growing countries such as China, where meat intake is increasing. Soybean production, especially in places like Brazil, can lead to significant deforestation and loss of biodiversity. Modern production methods require a large amount of water and include the use of fertilizers and insecticides that have an impact on greenhouse gases, and this can also lead to a lot of water and soil pollution as well. However, most of this soya is not being used for human consumption. Soya is generally produced for two main purposes: soya meal and soya oil. Around 80% of the soya bean ends up as the soya meal, and the vast majority of this is used for animal feed in the meat and dairy industry. 18% of the soya bean is processed as oil, and the majority of this goes towards biofuel. The rest goes towards cooking oils or is added to products such as margarine. As a result, 70 to 75% of soya production goes to feeding animals, and only around 6% goes to feed humans directly. Given how little soya is consumed directly by humans, it is unlikely to increase the total yield requirements if people were to reduce their meat intake and increase their soya intake, especially when we consider it takes more than 100 grams of soya protein to create 100 grams of beef protein. When consuming soya products directly, it's important for consumers to try and figure out where the product is coming from and what the farming practices have been used to create it. More information on this topic can be found in the description, which I've linked below. Okay, next on today's list, what are the environmental impacts of replacing palm oil for animal fats? So what is palm oil? Palm oil is the highest yielding and cheapest growing vegetable oil in the tropical regions of the planet. It is semi-solid at room temperature and often used for sautéing or frying because it has a very high smoke point. Palm oil is in thousands of products we use every day. Increasing demand for palm oil has been shown to result in significant deforestation, increasing carbon emissions, reducing plant diversity, and eliminating animal species such as the Sumatran tiger, who depend on these tropical forests. The main organisation responsible for certifying palm oil as sustainable is the Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil. They aim to ensure that palm oil growth is sustainable. Although it has made some progress to address the environmental issues, the company has been criticised for not being transparent enough and not having the authority to protect the peatlands used for palm oil growth. Palm oil is the most widely used oil in the world, and it is unlikely that we can completely replace it with another oil. However, when buying products containing palm oil, at the very least we must advocate for reading the label and ensuring the oil comes from a certified source. And a little tip from me, you'll often find now there are a lot of peanut butters available that don't have palm oil, so this is a great place to start. But anyway, thank you very much for listening. If you've enjoyed this video and found it informative, please give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to hear more videos looking at sustainability or health and wellness, then please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.